So as always we will start by removing the cube. I will turn on the screencast keys so you can see what keys I press, then press Shift plus A and add a reference that I will leave in the description. And so after we have added our reference, let's move it a little along the x-axis so that he doesn't interfere. Then I press Shift plus A again and add a cylinder. And we need to scale it along the z-axis. Then go into the edit mode and select these vertices and extrude them using the E key until they will match with the reference. I also extrude from above until our cylinder takes the shape of a can. And at the very top, we also extrude, then slightly scale it, then we extrude again and again and scale it at the top. And the low poly version of our can is ready. And because we need more geometry, we will add a subdivision modifier. In order to smooth out the can and for it to work correctly, we must add a loop cut from below using the I key, and for the rest of the can, press Ctrl plus R and move them so that the shape is smoother in some places. If you need, also add a loop cut and scale it to match the reference more. Also don't forget to smooth it by clicking right mouse button and press Shade Smooth. And in the same way add loop cut in the upper part. Here, for more realism, at the bottom of the can press 3 and then press the I button and scale it. After that we move on the Z axis and then press I again. Remove the face from the top part and it's time to make the top part of the can. Add our reference and scale it to the correct size. And move it down so that it doesn't interfere our modeling. Then select the top edges and copy them using the Shift plus D keys. Then press P and then click Selection to separate our object. Then we go out from the edit mode and select our edges. So that it is easier for us to highlight it all, select the reference with Shift and press this key to see only our selected object. Go to the tab view and into the edit mode, select everything, press E to extrude and then S to scale. Then select half of our circle and delete it, and add a mirror modifier. And don't forget to check the clipping box. Then we simply move the vertices under the reference. Then select them and extrude in the axis. And then scale it. And as you can see, we can slightly move it to the left side. Then after we show it matched the reference, extrude it again. And basically do the same thing. Then we select these edges and extrude it. We have two methods how to model the top part. So the first way is to create a loop cut here and always extrude it and fill. But there is a better way to just connect these two vertices using the F key and then using Ctrl plus R, create as many loop cuts as we need. And press F several times. If necessary, we can add new loop cuts. And also everything we connect using the F key. In the middle, create another loop cut. And if you don't have the edge here, then use K to simply solder these two vertices. And our top of the can is almost ready. And all that remains is to select these vertices and extrude them. And scale it with the S key. And then select the vertices, I just fill them. Let's turn on the subdivision modifier so we can see how it will look in the end. And as we can see, we need to add loop cuts for a more realistic result. Add them in those places where sharper corners are needed. And also do not forget to smooth them out. And then move the mirror modifier up so that everything works as it should. And the top is ready. Don't forget to save our file to not lose the result in the future. It's very essential. Just press Ctrl plus S and name your file and save. And all that remains is to create a part that opens the can. Press Shift plus A and create a plane. Scale it in edit mode and place it somewhere here. And change it so that it matches the reference. Just select the edges, extrude, rotate, and move the vertices. It's nothing complicated here. But in this moment, we need to add a mirror modifier and also need to see how it looks. Okay, so let's move it up. And here don't forget to check the clipping. And as you can see, it's not very comfortable to continue to edit. For better visibility, select our reference and the object and press this key. And continue to extrude and change the plane until we achieve a complete match with the reference. Then select these vertices, extrude and scale them slightly. and finally fill them with the F key. And here we go. But as we can see, it doesn't have any thickness. So go to the Modifiers tab and add the Solidify modifier and change the thickness parameter. Also, we add a subdivision modifier and of course, don't forget to add loop cuts for realism. And as usual, add them in those places where there are sharper corners. Add one here, and also here. And don't forget to add it here. So in those places where you can expect the edges. And also don't forget to smooth it out in the end. To not struggle with the position, click on this icon and select Face Project. This will allow us to magnetize our object to the nearest face. So select our object and move it along the Z-axis with Ctrl held down. I don't really like how high the top of our can is, so I'll move it down, and to make it more realistic, I'll add a couple of loop cuts, again using a Ctrl plus R. And here I will move these edges down to create a small indentation and add another loop cut. And now go directly to the can and in edit mode select and move these vertices. And that's pretty much it. And I congratulate you because the first stage of our tutorial is completed. And we have created the main object of our tutorial, to which we'll add photo simulation, animate, and also deal with textures, lighting, and creating an environment for the scene. But we will look at all this in the next parts of the tutorial. So let's get started.